Hello everybody, Halcrix here, and welcome to another Mercenary Thoughts from the Inner Sphere, episode, 302. Alright, today we're going to be talking about that 70-ton mech, the Excalibur. Yeah, it's an interesting weapons, but that's about all it's going for it. It's a 580 moving mech. It has XL engines, 70 tons, 11 single heat sinks. Not that it really needs more than singles, but with its standard weapons loadout. And it has 120 points of armor, which is its major downfall. And you got a fast-moving 70-ton mech, no armor. Just enough to seem to keep the pilot from falling out. Then, weapon systems. Alright, we have a Gauss rifle in the right arm with 2 tons of ammunition in the right torso, with case in the right torso. We have an LRM-20 in the left torso with 2 tons of ammo. We have an anti-missile system and a ton of ammo in the center torso. And then we have an armed misfire control system with the LRM-20 and case in the left torso. So, it does think ahead about not blowing itself up into a big pile of scrap, at least with the case on board, which seems to be the case. But yeah, it doesn't take much to punch holes through this thing. It's one of those mechs where you do not want to get it too close to the battlefield. You want to run around the edges. It's kind of like a heavy cavalry mech that wants to nibble at the flanks and then just stay there at the flanks, because you get the Gauss rifle, which the big giant pumpkin seed thrower, which I do like. It's like I had a druther between the AC-20 and the Gauss rifle. I take the Gauss rifle all the time, because at least you got something that shoots out of range. And then you followed up with the LRM-20. So this thing can put out 35 points of damage, possibly. Most likely it's going to be about 27 on an average if you hit. Because usually you do about 12 points of damage with an LRM-20 on average. The average numbers. It can be more, it can be less, but typically it's in the 12 range. But I digress. Now, like I said, the biggest problem with this mech is the armor. It has hardly any. Now, there was a time I've killed, I think 2 or 3 of these things over the years, and I've seen them getting wiped out on the side I've been playing on. So most likely, I usually see these at like Gen Con at a convention. And you just watch them die horribly, because the individuals running them try to get them up close and thinking that, hey, I'm going to get within medium to short range with those LRMs and just do lots of damage, not thinking about how little armor they have. There was one game where I had a Massacre, aka Warhawk, depending on what side of the flank you're on, but I was running it as a Clanner, and so it had been a Warhawk. But it was a version with 2 PBCs, 2 large pulse lasers, and with a target computer with a 1-2 pilot. Yeah, I seen this thing coming around the flank. I was like, hey, that guy's he's moving, he's got a little bit of mods on him, but I got more. And it's like, he's just on the edge of my large pulse laser range. I'm just going to throw everything I got at him. And I hit him, and he missed with everything. And I hit with everything and killed it, just like that. I was the only one shooting at it, and I just wiped it out. It doesn't help when you put 2 large pulse lasers and a PPC into one torso, right or left torso, and it died horribly, just like that, without doing any damage. And that is what you can face when you're running an Excalibur. You get somebody that knows what these things have so little bit of armor, and they're going to get targeted and just like, hey, that guy's got weak armor. Just everybody shoot at him, take him out, and be done with it. Move on to the next target and take it out. And it doesn't take much. Usually 2 or 3 clan mechs will take one of these things out and nothing flat. And that's the problem with the Excalibur, is its armor. It's like, if you can put something out there that's more of a threat out front of it, then it has a tendency to live longer, unless you get somebody that knows that, hey, let's just take that thing out now. We don't need those Gauss rifles coming our direction. Those big giant nickel steel balls, let's just take those out and move on to the next target. All right. So that's the problem with the Excalibur in a nutshell. Now, there are a few different versions of the Excalibur running around. Okay, this is the B2 version. Now there's the B1. This one came out, is adopted by the Star League Defense Force. And pretty much the only difference is it has a pulse laser, small pulse laser in place of the case. So instead of having a ton going towards case to prevent it from blowing up, it had a small pulse laser. And that comes in around the same 15.5. So 15 and 50 around there for battle value versus a little over 1530 with the standard for battle value with the Excalibur. So there's that. But I'd rather have the standard version with the case. Got that much. You know, hitting the ammo and blowing it to pieces is never a good deal. Unless you hit the center torso where the anti-missile system is. And then you got some problems. All right, then there's the B2B. To be or not to be? That is the question. And this one has Indosteel on board. This is put together by the Royal Star League Defense Force. And it has 3.5 more tons of armor. There, so that will help out greatly with something like that. 3.5 more tons would put you on 11 tons of armor. Yeah, that makes it a little more respectable. It's a slight. You're looking at seeing a little bit more armor than you would have with the Warhammer. So there's that. And at least it'll keep you alive. Maybe another turn if they try to focus you down. So yeah, keep it back in the rear with the gear kind of thing. But at least they put on Indosteel on board. So there's that. And we have the B2B EC, which is, well, they took it on the Exodus with them, and Clan Wolf, yes, Clan Wolf decided to, hey, let's just improve this thing with clan-style weaponry. All right, so you have an improved Gauss rifle, you got an LRM with RMS, you got an ER medium laser, you have a case on the anti-missile system, and you have 4 more tons of armor, and you got double heat sinks. Yeah. So, and it comes out at 2,000 battle value. But, so, yeah, really, this thing could easily get by with just 10 double heat sinks on the engine, and still with the weapon systems they put on board. So, there is that. Yeah, the only really addition they have is the ER medium laser for some enclosed work. But with clan weapons, everything is at point blank range. So you have to go with that route. But 4.5 more tons and double heat sinks does improve it a bit. Then we have the C1 version. This configuration increases defense capabilities. It's done by removing the anti-missile system and removing one of the heat sinks, okay, and then giving it 10 double heat sinks, which is smart. Tonnage goes towards an additional medium laser and the armor protection to 9 tons. So it gives another 1.5 tons. And this comes in at a little over 1,600 battle value. But it could easily, you don't have, it doesn't show it having, I don't think it has, let me look. No, it doesn't have ferrofibrous armor. Nope. So you could have easily put ferrofibrous armor on board and gave you another 0.5 ton of armor. Now, at least you could have gone that route. Instead of having, this one has 144 points of armor, it could have kicked it up to 161. So, there. So, yep, that is that. Then, let's see, what we got? That was a C1, then we got the CS. This one, following the fall of Terra, Comstar no longer had any factories, let alone ones that could produce the Excalibur. So they produced a variant that has been well received by the ComGuard and the House Carita. Removes the Gauss rifle, makes way for a ER-PPC, 12 double heat sinks, 4 medium lasers, and ER small laser, and then it has 13.5 tons of armor, and I don't remember, and it has a target computer, and it has triple strength armor, and it comes on at 2100, almost 2200 battle value. It does have the firepower, it has the armor, has the speed, so that is giving it some bit of increased firepower up close type of thing. And if you get it hot, then you can kick somebody's leg off or punch somebody really hard if you wanted to. Go that route. So with 4 ER medium lasers, an ER small laser, and an ER PPC, yeah, you're looking at some good heat. But, you know, you want to be at that 9 heat level anyway, so there is that. Because, you know, you might make use of that triple strength and if you get it in close, then you can boot somebody. Heck, you kick somebody at 70 tons with the triple strength going. Yeah, you can kick the leg off a lot of mechs that are in the medium range. Yeah, there is that. Then there is the D1. All hail the word of Blake. Yes. Okay, and this one has 11.5 tons of armor. It has jump jets. Okay, so now it's a 5.85, which is not bad. Short range arsenal is in place of the remaining tonnage, anchored by a rotary rack 5. Well, that could be useful if you can get them to shoot all without jamming. It has 2 ER medium lasers, and it has a target computer and a Streak 6 with an improved C3 system. Yeah. Comes in at 19.5 battle value. So, yeah. I don't think I've ever seen this one on the battlefield, to be honest. Maybe we did. Yeah, when we're playing Word of Blake, I think there was a few that were on the table, but I never seen anybody next to me running them, so I never paid attention to the actual weapon system. But it may have been one of these D1s that was roaming around the battlefield. Okay. And when you got an improved C3 system, you know, you get your eyes and ears out there, and you can hang that thing back and just roll. Probably spit 3 out. You know, it's like I'm going to shoot 3 out of the rack without having to worry too much about the jamming aspect of it. Then there's the custom variant. This is the Excalibur Kurunos, I think is it. This is piloted by a former clan Smoke Jaguar. And this one has been completely refitted with additional armor, revision of the principal weapons. The Gauss rifle has been replaced by a Starleague PPC, ER PPC, and an LBX-20 with 3 tons of ammunition, and is protected by 12 tons with case to protect the ammunition. And it comes in about a little over 1,400. An LBX-20, this would be probably pretty decent in a city fighter up close, because let me tell you, you get hit with an LBX-20 and a cluster munition, and if you got all 20 hit, that's a lot of chances to do pilot hit and a chance of critical. And I've seen mechs get tore to pieces from an LBX-20. So there's that. Now, if you do have a standard B2 Excalibur, even a B1, the only thing I would say to do is probably go with double heat sinks, 10 double heat sinks, take a ton off the double heat sinks. So instead of 11, you drop it to 10. And personally, I would drop the LRM-20 down to an LRM-15, take that extra tonnage, and maybe give it some more armor, and maybe a medium laser. So or something a little close. So medium laser and more armor, and ferrofibrous armor at that. So that would be one thing I would go with. Definitely, at the minimum, upgrade it to ferrofibrous armor to at least give it a few more points. 7.5 with ferrofiber is going to help a little bit. Let me check here. What standard B2 go with ferro? You would get 134 points instead of 120. So you gain 14 points of armor. So there's that. And you're not increasing the battle value by much. It's now 1397 versus, yeah, it's a lot cheaper. So there's that. And I forgot to the double heat sinks. And drop it to 10. Come on. There. And now you got 152 points of armor. So there. And if you went with the LRM 15, 2 tons of armor, and that gives you 3. So you could add 2 medium lasers and another ton of armor if you wanted to go that route. So there's that. So that was one thing I would look at doing with the standard Excalibur, is maybe drop down that LRM to a 15, put ferrofibrous armor and give it double heat sinks with 10, and take that tonnage and add a little more armor to it and a couple more medium lasers. Make up the lack of damage you're getting with that with the drop down in the LRM-15 for something a little closer up. Go that route, or even put a C3 system on board if you wanted. So there's that. Hope you guys like it. So like and subscribe, share it with your friends, and we'll see you in the next one. Elcrex out.